Hare Krishna, will start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami इति नामिने नामस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 हराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय गोविंदाय नमः श्री कृष्ण हरि बोल गोपाल हरि बोल राधा रमण गोविंद हरि बोल जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय पंचतत्वा पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद की जय. Welcome you all to the level 2 class of Bhagavad Gita, and today we are going to learn about chapter number 16. So before proceeding on to the next chapter, a quick recap what exactly we have learned in the previous section. 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is about the differentiation between the spiritual as well as the virtual world, and the differences between the material world as well as the spiritual world, and how transmigrations happen, and Krishna's position as the maintainer of all the inferior energies of the Lord, that is all the Panchabhutas and the working senses and all. So the three slokas in which summarizing the Vedas and the Vedantas and all the source of all materials by which a mankind is able to become a better personality. So in the present chapter, we will come to know about what are the divine qualities by which a person can progress further in the bhakti, and what are all the forbidden characters by which a person will halt his progress, or he will stay where he is, or he will go back to the lower planets. Okay, Hare Krishna. Before proceeding, just give me a minute. Hare Krishna. So this particular 16th chapter is divided into three sections. 16.1 to 6 is about the transcendental and the demonic qualities. And 16.7 to 20 is exclusively the demonic qualities. And 21 to 24 is the choice, escaping to the supreme destination. So here we'll have a clear-cut demarcation, like how our divine people look like, how our demonic people look like, and how we have to develop those qualities and all those things. Okay. Hare Krishna. Am I audible now?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mataji. Yes, it's
Mataji.
audible.
Yeah. So it is divided into three sections, A, B, C. The first one is the transcendental and the demonic qualities. And next is the demonic nature, and last is the escaping to the supreme destination. Like how you have to weigh your balances between the divine as well as the demonic quality, how to choose between the divine quality and how to progress in that. Okay, we will learn about all those things. Yeah, this is the previous chapter. The spiritual world is exactly the replica of the material world, but material world is full of all, what do you say, the complexities we can see here. But only by one means we can get, what do you say, more close to the spiritual world is by the weapon of detachment. Okay, so unless we detach, it is not possible for us to get attached to the spiritual world. Okay. So we'll have the list of qualities, what exactly are the divine qualities, and we will go one by one in detail. Okay. So Lord Krishna, list 26 characteristic of a saintly people, the qualities that elevate one onto the banyan tree and ultimately lead to the liberation. Okay. What are those? Yes, Hare Krishna. Manush Prabhu, are you there today? अभ्यासं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिर्ज्ञानयोगाव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधास्त्यागा शान्तिरपैशुनं दया भूते अलोलुप्त्वं माधवां हृदचापलं तेजा क्षमादितिर्शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् Abhijatasya Bharata. Yes, somebody can please read this translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men, endowed with divine nature. Bhagavad Gita 16.123. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, fearlessness. So, devotee is not fearful at all. So, here Arjuna also has to become a fearless. Okay, and self-control. He should have a control over his emotions and performance of sacrifice, that is doing his dharma. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna here. Studying of the Vedas, unless you have the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, you cannot know what is right and what is wrong, and so take up the path of devotion service, austerity of the speech, mind, everything, that starts with the Krishna Prasadam, simplicity, whatever we have, maintain it to be a simple non-violence towards not only, it's not about animal killing and all, it is about speaking very harshly, causing someone hurt also contributes to the violence. That also we should avoid. Truthfulness, to whatever we are doing, freedom from anger, renunciation, that comes ultimate later. Tranquility, aversion to fault finding. We should never try to find fault with others. Rather, we can understand at what stage the other person is and try to help them out to the maximum possible extent to come out of that. Compassion for all living entities. So we should have a equal vision for all, whether it's a tree, whether it's an insect, whether it's an animal, whether it's a human. We should be compassionate to all living entities. And gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness. So all this is cleanliness, both the external as well as the internal cleanliness, freedom from envy, and we should never strive for honor, or we should not feel down when we have been dishonored. So we should stay away from all these things. Okay, so these are the people who are said to be divine in nature. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. So, in this chapter, Lord explained both the transcendental nature, its attendant qualities, advantages and disadvantages, demonic nature, its qualities, what are the advantages and disadvantages. Abhijatasya is a one who born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies. Garbhadana samskara, that is, whenever a devotee couple is prepared to have a child in a Krishna consciousness, what are the procedures they follow to beget a child in a godly atmosphere? That is called as a Garbhadana samskara. All that we will come to know. Okay, so this is the Garbhadana samskara, what I told you now. As per the Bhagavad Gita, begetting a good child is a Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Only a couple should indulge in sexual activity for begetting a good child. Okay, and the ultimate motive is to make them Krishna consciousness after the birth. And that should be the advantage of the children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Varnashrama dharma, social institution dividing in, society into 4 divisions of social life and 4 occupational divisions of the castes. Not to divide human society according to the birth. Okay, so what are the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas? Anybody?
4 Varnas, I think Mataji, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya, Mataji. And
Yeah,
next, that Brahmana, sorry, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprahastha, and Sannyasa, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
true,
Krishna.
very
Hare
nice.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Such divisions are based on educational qualifications and to keep the society peaceful and prosperous with a spiritual knowledge to get liberated. So, so this Varnashrama Dharma is to have a categorization, you know, like the duties, the roles and responsibility, everything is been defined so that everybody, they can take up the prescribed duty which is prescribed for them. Okay. So the Brahmana is considered to be the spiritual master of the 3 other sections of the society, namely the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudras. A sannyasi is considered to be the spiritual masters of the Brahmanas also, because he is in a renounced order. Okay. A sannyasi should be fearless, all the divine quality, capable of living alone without any support or guarantee of the support, depending on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. If he has a fear of protection after renouncing his people, he should not accept the renounced order of life. Okay, one must be fully convinced and have all full conviction that Krishna as Paramatma is always within, seeing and knowing. One surrender to him, intend to do so. Okay. I shall never be alone, even if I have to live in the darkest region of the forest, I shall always be accompanied and protected by Krishna. This is called as the Abhayam. So this is the characteristic a sannyasi has to develop, extremely necessary for the renounced person. So Sattva Samsuddhi, purified existence, distance from the woman and the wealth. So again, these are the very addictive things. One has to refrain themselves or stay away from these 2 women as well as the wealth. Example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Puri, feminine devotees could never come near him or to offer their respects. They are advised to bow down from a distant place. But when he was very generous in accepting the most fallen conditioned soul, like Chota Haridas, you know, Due to lusty attitude towards the young woman, he was rejected with the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In turn, he couldn't take that humiliation. He has committed suicide. Okay, so all these things are very addictive. So we should always try to have a control over our senses and never try to indulge in prohibited things. Jnana Yoga, Vyavasthina, cultivating and distributing the knowledge. Always, whatever small knowledge we know, like something like if like chant Hare Krishna, at least we should try to tell another individual, try to spread the name of the God or whatever the good knowledge we have acquired, even it's in a very little quantity, but should always try to do that. So enlighten. So what is the duty of a sannyasi is to enlighten the householder on the spiritual advancement and maintain the humility by going door to door for livelihood. And it's not begging, but it is somewhere checking like whether the household devotees are happy or doing some amount of spiritual service or not. Or if not, he has to enlighten them on that. Okay. Propose to remind householder for of the much forgotten Krishna consciousness. So logical preaching of Krishna consciousness, a sacred duty of advanced sannyasi, if not advanced, should not accept renounce. So one thing is that the idea of going to households is just to find out like how many household devotees are actually practicing this, and if anybody is falling short or they are not able to do it, and also kindly help them out in practicing the Krishna consciousness. That should be his motto. Okay. So if somebody is not able to do, then if he is fine, then ultimately try to get them under the shelter of a spiritual master who will take care of their spiritual advancement. Okay. A grihastha or householder, what he should do is whatever earnings he get, of which 50% he has to give for the Krishna consciousness. Yes, nowadays hardly any people are doing it, but slowly, maybe eventually, once they are done with their responsibilities, they should try to do it. Something for book distribution, for temple construction, or for some other many activities are there in the temple for which they can participate and help them by giving some Lakshmi. Okay. What is this? Charity should be done in the mode of a goodness only, not expecting anything in return. And self-control is a dhamma, is especially meant for the householder. So again, the spouse they should be engaged in sex life only for begetting a Krishna conscious child. Otherwise, rest of the time they should all engage in Krishna consciousness, busily doing one of the other activity for the Lord. Okay. Brahmachari, sannyasis, and those in Vanaprastha ashram, generally they don't have any because they are living a retired life. So the people who are earning should help them indirectly. Okay. They almost survive on alms given to them. Sacrifice like Agnihotra mentioned in the Vedas are very expensive, perhaps beyond the capacity of a Grihastha too. So in Kali Yuga, best sacrifice recommended is a Sankirtana Yajna, that is chanting of Hare Krishna. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A brahmacharya student life should observe this Svadhyaya, the Vedic study of cultivation spiritual knowledge, that is systematic study of a Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, then live a celibate life. So, coming to the Vanaprastha, the retired person, one should not remain in the household or grihastha throughout his whole life. That means, because the responsibilities haunts him, that there is no end to the responsibility. So, there should be a cutoff. Like how we retire from the services, after 60, you should retire or something like that. So even from the household life also, one should retire at certain age and try to concentrate on the Lord. Okay. He must always remember that there are 4 divisions, specific divisions of life. That is the brahmacharya till 20-25 years of it. Then the grahastha, that is 25 to 50. Vanaprastha after 50, and sannyasa, that is after 60. So these are the 4 ashramas one has to maintain in his life. So the one they don't want to get married or interested in married life, then they can continue the brahmacharya. Okay, directly from brahmacharya to vanaprastha and sannyasa. Okay, after grahastha ashrama, one should retire as per the Vedic injunctions. In 100 years of one's life, expected lifetime in Kali Yuga, 25 years each must be spent in brahmacharya ashrama, grahastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, and the sannyasa ashrama. So coming to the vanaprastha, that means we have decided I should retire from all my responsibility and concentrate only on doing service towards the Lord. So we should maintain the austerity of the speech, austerity of the mind, as well as the tongue. So let's start with the tongue. Okay. So once we feed our body the Krishna Prasadam, automatically the mind will be under control because it has taken Krishna Prasadam, then body will be under control because the energy is produced from the food what we have taken as a Prasadam. So likewise, the austerities is been maintained. So this is called as a tapasya, and by practicing so, one can eventually get liberated. Okay. The other qualities is simplicity. One has to be very simple in their dealings, the dressings and activities and all those things, and straightforward as one should avoid diplomacy because that is again one of the forbidden character. Okay. So ahimsa to be followed by all orders. It doesn't mean killing some animal or something like that. Even we should not speak anything by which others are getting hurt. Okay. No one except the Supreme Lord has the freedom to arrest the progressive life of any living entity. So we should not indulge in any of the ahimsa activity. So one should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, killing the body for sense gratification still is thereby harmless. But it is no. Even an ant has been killed. So Krishna remembers everything and we have to pay for it. Okay. Man can live abundantly on the grain which is supplied by the Lord. Again, there is no need to be a non-vegetarian and not required to do such sacrifices. Person deciding to make advancement in spiritual realization should never be violent toward the animals. So animal killed would also be progressing to the evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category to another, as I've told in my previous class also. If we are killing an animal, then we are halting its progress, from because maybe after this janma, they have to take into another this thing. Again, they are forced to come back to the same life again. Okay. The real ahimsa is not checking anyone's progressive life. Killing an animal is checking its progress. So we should refrain ourselves from all those things. Okay. Coming to the Satyam is the Vedic literature must be learned from the bona fide spiritual master. If we sincerely attend Srimad Bhagavatam class every day, that is one way to regulate our life. Okay. Most of the time, sometimes we are busy or not the whole day, whether we are able to take out the book and read it or not, we don't know. But at least by spending half an hour, 8:30 to 9 in the morning, simply it can get extended. But at least for half an hour, if you can have a Shravanam of Srimad Bhagavatam, that itself is enough for the day to survive in a very peaceful way. Okay. Shruti is hearing from authority, that is from the spiritual master who is sitting in a Vyasasana. And Akroda means check anger even on being provoked. Okay, so anger is not good for anything because it is again, somewhere your ego is involved in that. Okay, so we should stay away from all those things. So anger, it will pollute the entire body of the person who is angry, and it indicates a mode of passion and ignorance. So it is not recommended for a devotee. Okay. Next is the Apaisunam, that is fault finding. So we have enough homework for ourselves for this life to do it, Krishna has given us. So we should not waste our time in finding the fault of the others. Next is Hari. He is very modest, not performing any abominable act. That is, we should not indulge in any of the activity which are not out of our regulatory principles. Achapalam is endeavoring with a patience and determination without any frustration. Okay. coming to the next is. Tejas is meant for the Kshatriya. The Kshatriya should be strong enough to protect the weak because their work is to protect the community and maintain the administration. And next is Saucham is cleanliness. Is again the clean thoughts, clean body, and clean everything, internal as well as the external cleaning. So this is specifically meant for the mercantile people, the Vaishyas. So you should not deal with the black market because they have taken up a responsibility of feeding the community. So they should not indulge in any of the unethical practices. Nati Manita is expecting honor applying to the Shudras, the worker class to the lower class, considered to be the lowest of all the four classes according to the Vedic injunction. So their duty is to serve the community. So they should not expect the honor. So being a humble is the greatest thing one can do it, so that this class of people has to follow, not only them, everybody, but specifically mentioned to the Shudra community. So should remain in their own status, not getting puffed up with unnecessary prestige or honor. On the contrary, they should offer respect for the higher classes to preserve the social order. So all the 26 quality what I mentioned above are the transcendental qualities. So one should cultivate according to the different status of the social and occupational order, where it's a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and the Shudra. And then eventually they will rise to the higher platform. Yeah. Hare Krishna. I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Quality fearlessness, Abhyam, Sannyas Ashram, first qualification for a sannyasi. Complete dependence on Supreme Lord's mercy. Has to be alone without guarantee of support. Convinced that Paramatma will give all protection to surrendered soul. Purification of one's existence. Sattva Sadhiyu, sannyasi, strictly following rules and regulations, especially forbidden intimate association with women. For example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally very strict, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu punishing Chota Haridas. Cultivation of knowledge. Jnana Yoga Vyavastitu Sannyas Ashram. Duty of a sannyasi must cultivate and give transcendental knowledge, especially to householders. Humility begs from door to awaken Krishna consciousness for others. Charity, Dhanam. Grasta. Charity is a
Danam.
mode of goodness, right time, place. Spend 50% of the income to propagate Krishna consciousness. Charity in passion and ignorance is a waste of time. Self-control, Dhamma. All, especially Grashta. Especially sex life should be used only for propagating Krishna consciousness. Children. Reference Bhagavad Gita 7.11. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this again the same what we have read in a previous slide, it is put in a tabular form, the good quality fearlessness for the sannyas ashrama, because he should be only taking shelter of the Lord, and purification of one's existence by following the rules and regulations laid down for him, and cultivation of the knowledge, being in a solitude place, stay away from all the forbidden people, and charity. This is for the grahasthas again, because rest of the people like brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis are dependent on the grahastha people. They have to give their earnings to these people so that they can make their surviving, and self-control dhamma. So this is again the grahasa to have a regulated life in their day-to-day affairs. Okay. Again the yajna. This is also for the grahastha to perform certain sacrifices for the highest benefit, and Vedic study. This is again for the brahmacharis, that is the student life. Because they are very pure in that stage. So whatever, they are like a sponge. So good in will always gives good out. So that is the ideal age where one has to inculcate with all the good uh, techniques and all the uh, Vedic literature. So tapaha, this is for all the classes, especially the Vanaprastha, because they have voluntarily decided that they should meditate upon the Lord. Okay. So by following the austerity of the body, mind, as well as the tongue. So simplicity, arjavam, again, it is all for all the classes, simple and being straightforward. One get appreciated by being so. So always try to be simple and non-violence. That is not checking the progress, not checking progressive life of any living entities. So truthfulness, satyam, uh, only truth, no diplomacy, freedom from anger, all classes. So even if one provokes also, we should remain calm and tolerant. And because it indicates that we are in a mode of a passion as well as in ignorance, renunciation again for all the classes, tranquility, shanti for all the classes. So whatever may be the situation, we should always remembers Krishna's purpose in that, and he take care of his devotee. We don't have to worry about it. And aversion to fault finding. So to call a thief is okay, but no unnecessary fight finding or correction. Okay. Sometimes we try to say many things to the unnecessary animal abuse or abusing the people, like so many things we do. So we know already they are there in that position by the punishment of the Lord. So we should not waste our time by doing the fault finding to the others. So we should be compassionate towards all living entities and freedom from covetousness. That is aloluptvam. Should not be greedy and always try to give charity to how much ever we have. And gentleness, that is mardavam. Again, all classes of society, friendliness to all living entities, modesty, again, all. And steady determination, not agitated, frustrated in his efforts, regardless of his failure. Progress with patience and determination and vigor, that is Tejaha Kshatriyas. Able to give protection to those who need it and not force non-violent, use the violent when needed. Okay. So only when six aggressors, as mentioned in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in such situation we have to react, but not on a regular day-to-day basis. So forgiveness, again, Shamaha, this is for Kshatriyas because they have taken up a responsibility to protect all the community. And fortitude, again, all this, especially the Kshatriyas, mental and emotional strength when facing the difficult situation. Cleanliness, again, it's for all, especially the Vaishyas, because they should never try to get greedy and should not indulge in a black market or all those forbidden things, So freedom from envy, adroho, again, all classes of society, or not resentful or another. Freedom from the passion for honor, all, especially the Shudras. So we should try to do with utmost humility and devotion, then automatically everything else will fall into place. Hare Krishna. Dambodharpo bhimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ajnanam chavijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, ignorance. These qualities belong to the demonic people, O son of Pritha. So in this video, you're seeing a mad elephant, without any provocation, it is disturbing the people who are quietly sitting there and having their meal. Okay, so again, uncontrolled behavior is equivalent to the mad elephant. We should never try to indulge that. It is destructive to self as well as for the society. Okay. We should never be arrogant of or proud of any possession, some type of education or a wealth or a beauty or anything. Okay. Not following the principles, making a show of advancement in the religion, spirituality is also refers to the demonic qualities, and desire of being worshipped by others. That is demanding respect from the others, that is also a demonic quality. Angry or over frivolous matters, speaking harshly. That also, again, the demonic quality. Lack of discretion between things to be done and avoided. Behaving whimsically, not recognizing any authority. Demonics are born with this inauspicious quality manifested as they grow. So such a behavior paves the road to the hellish world. Okay. So we should never, all these things are said to be in the mode of ignorance and passion. Daivi sampad vimokshaya निबंधाया सुरीमता मासुचा sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. The transcendental qualities are connected to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, you are born with the divine qualities. Okay, so passion means again the bondages, ignorance again you're going back to the lower planets. So we should always try to be in the mode of a goodness to get liberated. Okay. Hare Krishna. I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Lord Krishna encourages Arjuna, telling him that he was not born with demonic qualities. Involvement in the war was not demonic because he was considering the pros and cons. Whether respectable person such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. There was no anger, show of false prestige or harshness in his behavior, unlike the demoniacs. For a Kshatriya, shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental. Refraining from doing so is demoniac. As Arjuna was following the regulative principles expected of his order, there was no cause for lamentation as he was transcendently situated. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, so whatever the Arjuna was doing at present is his duty. So that is not said to be a demonic and all. Okay, and being a Kshatriya, he was completely doing his duty and following all the regulative principles. Hare Krishna. So transcendental qualities are connected to liberation, as I told you. So again, demonic qualities, the passion and ignorance will, passion will lead to bondages and ignorant will take you to the lower planets. So Lord Krishna Arjuna encourages Arjuna that he is born of saintly qualities and his fighting is not a demonic. On what basis Krishna consider that Arjuna is born of saintly quality and his fighting is not demonic? Since Arjuna considers the pros and cons, because in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he gives a list of events, if I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, this is going to happen. I'm the reason for all the calamity and all those things. So many things are going in his mind and all, isn't it? So he's having the pro and cons of this situation. To perform the regulative principles of different orders of life is transcendental action. Kshatriya shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental and it is not in a mode of a demonic. He is doing his duty. द्वौ भूता सर्गलोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुरमेव च दैवो विस्तारसा प्रोक्ता आसुरीं पार्थ मे शृणु. O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kind of created beings. One is called the divine, other is demonic. I have already explained to you at length of divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demonic. So till now we have discussed about the divine qualities. Now we will know about the demonic also. The conditioned living entities are divided into two classes of divine and demonic. The divine is the divine qualities following the regulated life, abiding by the injunctions of the scriptures. and those laid down by the authority. The demonic asuras do not follow the regulative principles, acting whimsically as per their vision will. So this is the criteria. And according to the Vedic literature, both the demigods and the demons are born of Prajapati. They differ in their obedience to the Vedic injunction. The same thing is being told in the flow chart type. प्रवृत्तिञ्च निवृत्तिञ्च जनाना विदुरासुरा न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither the cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Okay, so they go directionless. There is no GPS attached to the final destination. So they go as they wish. Okay. Again, among the Aryans, the most advanced civilized people adopt the Vedic civilization. The demonics do not. They neither know the scriptural rules nor their inclined to follow them due to want of faith. The demons are not clean, either externally or internally. Maintaining external cleanliness by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc. is very important. Internal cleanliness should be maintained by always remembering the holy name of the Lord and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The demons do not like to follow any of these rules and regulations guiding human behavior are laid down in the Manu Samhita, the law of the human race followed by the Hindus. Manu Samhita states a woman should not be given freedom as they are named like a children and definitely they are not the slaves. So as the children are being protected, women should also be protected and they should be given like similarly, like how a child has to be given freedom, that much only we give them. Similarly, women is also need to be controlled. She should not be given a complete freedom. Again, this will cause a lot of societal problems. Actually, women is supposed to be protected at every stage of her life. The young age by the father, and the middle age by husband, and in the old age by the son. Okay. This is the proper social behavior according to Manu Samhita. The demons do not accept any instruction which is good for the society. As the demons do not respect and follow the experience of the great sages, their societal condition is very miserable. Yeah, again, the same thing in the flowchart form. Asatyam apratishtam te jagad ahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kim manyat kama haitukam. They say that this world is unreal and there is no foundation and that there is no God in the control. It is produced of 6 desires and has no cause other than the lust. So in day to day, you can see Amazon Prime, Netflix, everything is showing the same thing, lusty things and all. They're not showing anything divine or all those things. They are making us get attracted to the things more, making us slave more to our senses. So that is not the right thing. According to demonic, the world is unreal like a dream. Yeah. And with no cause, no effect, no controller, and no purpose. I think sometimes if you remember, all of you must have experienced this also when you're sleeping, maybe anytime, even for a short naps in the daytime also. You will be roaming around to some different places, meeting different people whom you don't know, and something unusual things. I don't know, all your sometimes we go to the destination which we have never been into. So all those things, isn't it? So the extended dream stage is a life, they say. Okay. The cosmic manifestation is due to the change of material action and reactions. They never accept the world being created with a God with a certain purpose. So they do not believe in the difference between spirit and matter and accept the supreme spirit. Of course, so once what do you say? A person who don't have a knowledge about that particular subject cannot understand what exactly he's going to say. Say, suppose it's a maths class. A maths teacher is trying to tell you algebra or some other thing. A person is not interested in knowing. He will never know about. Similarly, the Vedic literature or the knowledge about the Lord. So even if a highest spiritual master is teaching that, one is not inclined towards, or Krishna's mercy is not there on that particular person to know about it, he will never know about it. Okay. So they go as per their whims and fancies. They don't believe in any of the Vedic literature, what we study and not. They do not believe in the word of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So, Marji ke Malik. Okay. They have no perfect knowledge of creation and the world, as they do not believe in a standard understanding of the spiritual injunction. Okay. So they have their own philosophy to substantiate what they think is real. Okay. Etam drishtim avasthabhya nashta nashtatmanolpa buddhaya prabhavanti ugra karmana Shayaya Jagato Hita. Following such conclusion, the demonic who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Unregulated things, the regulated ones, somebody who knows the driving, who have gone to the driving class, know the rules and regulations, traffic rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, they will drive carefully. A person who have no knowledge about the road or a car or a clutch or a brake or accelerator, simply we give him a car, how an unregulated he is. Similarly, a human being also, okay? So being less intelligent, they are engaged in all destruction process. Always they think my country, your country, creating a nuclear weapon. And they think by building a skyscrapers or different things, whatever which is the material which is available and provided by Krishna, they invent something out of this and they will be in a false word that they are advancing, but which is not right. Okay. And in reality, people are becoming more violent and cruel to the animals as well as the humans. Lack of knowledge of behavior with others. Animal killing is very prominent nowadays among the demonic people. Such people are enemies of the world. So, the demonic people are lost to themselves, illusions, have no intelligence because they didn't read the scriptures at all. And they think they're advancing by creating something by the material which is already provided by Krishna. So it's all destructive. Kamanashritya dushpuram dambhamana madanvita mohat virhadvasat granan pravarante Pravartante Suchivrata, taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbing the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demonic, thus illusion, are always want to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Okay, so what do you say? There is a one good example, I have heard in one of the classes. The bees always get attracted towards the nectar. They're not attracted towards the dirt and all. You don't find bees in any of these dirty, shitty, shabby places and all. The mosquitoes will be there, houseflies will be there, but you don't find bees. So they, in how much ever dirt or shabby and not so accessible places is there, they will look for the place where nectar is found and they will try to extract the nectar from that and make the honey. So similarly, a person, what do you say, who is pure in their thought process, they will try to find out the people who meet their requirement, find such people, take the shelter of the people who can help them progress in the spiritual life and progress accordingly. And they're not deviated from the usual path by any of the demonic qualities. Okay. So similarly, the people who are there in the mode of passion and ignorance, they carry a lot of a false ego with them, and they wanted respect, prestige, they feel pride, and many things, So they are like the bees, they're not like the bees, they are like the houseflies and the mosquitoes, who almost run around in the garbage and all. Because things which are to be thrown, if a person or a people are going towards it, it means that they are attracted to the material world. So what is to be thrown? Our material body. Once it is no more, once the jiva goes out of this body, it has to be thrown. It's equivalent to garbage. So unless one has a realization to go back to the Godhead, and he thinks that I should slowly take steps, not to advance in a day or quickly. Okay, it's a slow process. So he will live the life of a bee. Okay. Acquisition of impermanent thing, like again I told you, what all we leave it here are the useless endeavors we are endeavoring upon. Okay, so there is no demand for that. If you have a small car, we wanted a big car. If you have a big car, we wanted a helicopter. If you want a helicopter, then we have wanted a chopper. No end for all the desires, sir. So better we restrict all those things, because that is not the ultimate goal of life. Because when we have to leave this material world, we don't know. If we waste our time chasing all these temporary things, then ultimately we are wasting our time. Okay. So if we are focused on only sense gratification and all these things, ultimately our time is wasted. We cannot get, one cannot get back time which is past, and we should be properly utilizing it for the benefit of us. Okay. So being attracted by wine, women, gambling, and meat eating are called as a asuchi, unclean habits. So we should have to be very careful about this and stay away from such things. Again, the false pride and all, you can see in the corona times, even now also the election times are going on. You can see the many party leaders are coming door to door, home to home. So whom we have never seen our life, they come and they say, please vote for us and all those things. All those is a mode of a passion. So we should not encourage all those things. चिंतम अपरिमेयं च प्रलयन्तम् उपाश्रिता कामोपाभोग परमा एतावाद इति निश्चिता असापासा सतैर्बद्धा कामक्रोधा परायणा इहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्ध संशयम्. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of the human civilization. Until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Isn't it all? Bound by the network of hundreds of thousands of desires absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for the sense gratification. So, should not run behind this. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, they are running behind this till the last breath. They wanted to accumulate wealth for self, for their family, kids, grandfather, granddaughters, whatnot, everything for generation and generation. They don't want them to work. So these people wanted to work for them also. Okay. And they don't believe in any life after death, karma philosophy, no regulative principles. So all those things, again, it's an ignorance. They don't have a Vedic knowledge. They don't have a knowledge about the Lord. They think by doing so, by seeing the surroundings, by seeing, what do you say, the other people who are there in the mode of passion and ignorance, they think that is the right, but that is not the right thing to do. Okay. So these are the 4 regulative principles which are one should follow. That is not having any illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating. Okay. So these 4 are very difficult to give up, of which illicit relationship is even more difficult to give up. Of all this, intoxication one may give up, meat eating one may give up, gambling one may give up, but illicit relationship is very difficult to give up. So we should never try to fall trap into such situations. Okay. What is this? So coming to the demonic mentality attracted by impermanent things, that is the temporary things which are there in this material world, and they have an insatiable lust towards others' wife, others' property, others' belongings. They're always illusion. They don't have any knowledge about the Lord, absorbed in a conceit of pride and false prestige. By getting this, they think, what does Ravana think? By abducting a Sita, he thought, he feels very great about himself, isn't he? Is unnecessary attracting all the danger to him he didn't thought of. Okay, so people who are doing all shitty shabby things, they are under the influence of Maya, and they feel pride and false prestige of the demonic things what they are doing. Idam madhya maya labdham imam prapsye manoratham idam masidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam असो माया हता शत्रु हानिष्ये च परामपि ईश्वरोऽहम् अहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवं सुखी अद्यो बीजानवन्नस्मि न पुण्योऽस्ति सदृशो मया यक्षे तस्यामि मोदिष्य इति अज्ञानविमोहिता. Yes, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
It's not readable. Can you?
Just a minute.
The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here we have few examples, the Ravanasura, just now I have told you, he has abducted Sita Maya, and here an example of Hiranyakashipu. He feels very pride that he's greater than Narayana and all, and he will get his end result. And I think this picture is from the Rukmini Apaharan. So likewise, everything belongs to Krishna, and people who are under illusion, they think if they steal other things or uh, get pleasure out of um, taking away other people's property and all. So all that is demonic mentality, and they have to pay for it. So further description of demonic mentality, people, I am the controller and an enjoyer, I am perfect and powerful, everything is been done, my potency, everything will increase. So he was deluded by ignorance, and my enemies are defeated, I am very happy. So all these things, these are temporary things. See, he has, I always say this example, everybody get their own set of question paper to solve from the God, God will give us different question papers, set A, set B, set C, something like that. Instead of writing our own question paper, we'll be busy looking at other people's life and what questions did he got and all, simply wasting our time to write our exam, isn't it? So we should never try to indulge in all those things, rather self-engaged in service of the Lord, and what is required for us, that is the ultimate knowledge we can attain. So if we are indulging in or taking interest in somebody else's life and all, simply we are wasting our time. So that will be the quality of a demonic people. They're always interested in others, always endeavoring for the pride, honor. Okay, so their requirements are totally self-centered. Okay. So I'm the Lord of everything. I'm the enjoyer. I'm powerful. Whatnot. He thinks himself next to Krishna. So I'm the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. he is my enemy and I've killed him, or this we can see in ISI militants and all those things. I shall perform sacrifice, I shall give some charity. This all the celebrity people have done in the corona time, isn't it? They did the charity, but they have advertised themselves. Can see many of the ISKCON centers, they have provided food, majority places during the COVID times, but these things will not come into the paper. So the things which we are doing in a mode of a goodness are the ones will be like that. But people who do a little and they advertise themselves so much. So much of wealth do I have today, and I will gain more and more according to my scheme. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the near future. So all these are the demonic quality. We should be contented with what we have, the beauty, the energy, the wealth, the positions, whatever we have. Then we'll be very grateful to the God with the existing things. So if we go for comparison, or if we endeavor for more things and all, so there lies the misery, and we will deviate from your usual path of realization and unnecessarily waste our time. Okay. अनेका चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाला समावृता प्रकाशक्ता काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च. Thus perplexed by the various anxieties and bound by the network of illusion, one becomes too strongly attached to this enjoyment and fall down into the hell. So we should never ever try to indulge in all this pleasing our senses. So automatically we'll be deviated from our four regulative principles, leading to the fall down. Okay. We will continue tomorrow the remaining slides. Hare Krishna. Any doubts till now? Anybody wanted to share any realizations or anything you wanted to share? Hare Krishna. No doubts? Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think I'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue with the remaining slides. Okay. Anything to be discussed? Hare Krishna. Shashank Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, no Mataji.
Yeah, anybody is interested in coming for temple inauguration, please share that in the group, no, so that they can make an arrangement in the month of August. Is that is been circulated?
Yes, Mataji, I have tried contacting some people, but none of them have reverted me back. And I'm just trying to share more and more.
Yeah, try to do it, Prabhu. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity to go for the temple inaugurations. You know, when
Yes,
we have
Mataji.
with the Bhagavad Gita classes in the Corona time, it was very small temple where Radha Govind used to stay in a leased accommodation. Now we got our own piece of land, and we have moved there. Lot of prayers and support from all the devotees. Now we are able to build a beautiful temple. It is a once a lifetime experience. So make it like an opportunity to come there and take darshan of Sri Sri Radha Govind and support Namanishtas Prabhuji in this Mahayajna. Okay. Fine. Keep giving reminders, Prabhu, since we have a lot of time.
Sure, Mataji. I'll do that.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, co-host and participants, for your active participation. See you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.